ended up with like the cheesiest, most scrumptious, because I doctored it up with some spices, and like this scrumptious, most scrumptious, delicious, fucking cheesy pasta thing I maybe have ever had. And I'm like, fucking, I'm like, fucking A. I can fucking. It's these little things that provide a spark, and you're like, I just got lucky. It's time for the 420 break, you guys. I don't know if you're going to partake or not, but.
Reefers.
Should I be getting paid for this, boys?
Water bomb so smooth.
You don't realize how high you're getting till it's too late. I am fucked up out here.
And your 420 break for Monday, November 28th, 2022. First up, while I do not enjoy watching soccer, I enjoy the vibe of the games, or the matches, excuse me. And I do follow the news surrounding the World Cup, and it's just absolutely fucking fascinating to me. I don't want to say I called it, because I didn't. You know what I mean? But I mean, I just had this underlying feeling that all of these, having the World Cup in Qatar and essentially having a bunch of, I don't know what the political system is like in Qatar. I feel like it's fairly, I don't want to say Sharia law, because I don't know that to be true, but at least fairly religious. Proof is in the, I guess, the rainbow pudding. Wales, the soccer team for Wales, and supporters had all of the rainbow hats removed by authorities. So that was a little blow up. Actually said in the story, this is a few days old. I didn't follow up to find out what happened. But they actually said in the story, the authorities were going to review this and we'll revisit it in a couple days. So I don't know what happened with this. I don't know if the rainbow hats were returned. I don't think they were allowed to wear them in the stadium. Then what the fuck happened? U.S. is playing Iran on Tuesday. And I guess somebody from the United States team I don't know what the emblem is in the middle of the Iranian flag. They say that it's God or Allah, I don't know, in the middle of the flag, and it was removed on the emblem on one of the graphics for the upcoming match. And I guess it was done intentionally. Iran wants the United States removed from the World Cup. I don't think that's going to happen. And thankfully, was watching some interviews with players from the United States team. Said, look, man, we didn't do that. Somebody from whoever puts these graphics together kind of just did it as a dig in support of women's rights in Iran. And thankfully, the two players, I don't know their names, were like, yeah, we didn't do it, but we totally support women's rights in Iran because it's absolutely just horrendous conditions right now for women in Iran. And not enough people talk about it. More and more people are talking about it, but more people in Iran need to talk about it, you know? Anytime you have a bunch of free people going into an environment where there's not necessarily as much freedom, you know, you're going to get kickbacks, you're going to get blowbacks, and that's all I got on that. Next on the 420 break, in your fucking big-ass words, headline of the day, this is one of those, I feel pretty good about my vocabulary usually, you know, but I had to sit with this one for a while. Highly ruminative individuals with depression exhibit abnormalities in the neural processing of gastric introception. I had to fucking look at that a couple times. I had to really look up ruminative. I'm like, I know that word. How do I know that word? Translated into, and I really am still having a hard time with gastric introception. I don't necessarily know what that means. I was trying to read down on the story. But I guess ruminative ruminating is thoughtful, but it's always like negative thoughts, as they say in the story, sort of the the quote from the story that why do I always react this way? Thinking about how alone you feel, thinking about your shortcomings. Those are ruminations, essentially negative thoughts about yourself. But apparently, sitting there and just marinating in your own shitty thoughts, that's probably the way I'm putting it. I'm trying to figure out. I did read down in the story, and there's so much science in here that it fucks up your gastral, whatever the fuck that word is. Sorry, guys. It's just me sometimes. Depressed individuals with high rumination levels, however, additionally exhibited reduced processing of stomach sensations in the hippocampus, amygdala, and entorhinal cortex. These brain regions play a key role in memory, emotional information processing, and perception. But yeah, again, okay, there we go. I just rained down. The thing is, I read down in these stories, but I don't like copy and paste. I don't make a note where the actual facts are. But, man, I just had it. I'm not even high today, you guys. Where the fuck is it? It's best to just leave. It's just best to go out on that. Sometimes you got to deal with my fucking stupid ass. Hey, next on the 420 break. Anyway, that was your big words headline of the day. This story, I honestly, for some reason, I thought that like stealing organs from people, killing people for their organs was like a fucking, I don't want to say old wives' tale. What's the better term for that? What is the better term for that? Like legends or urban legend. That's what I'm going for. This Mexican woman thought she was meeting her boyfriend, had an online relationship with some fucking dude in Peru. His name is Juan Pablo Jesus Villafuerte, and I'm pretty good. I feel pretty good about myself with that pronunciation. Her name was Blanca Arellano, 51 years old, from Mexico. Started a relationship with this guy, met him on a gaming app online, then traveled to Peru, and after 2 weeks went missing. Family freaked out, obviously, posted on Twitter, "Have you seen this woman?" Prompted Peruvian authorities to investigate. Then they started finding fucking body parts. I don't want to necessarily read this for gruesome sake. I want to read this for like fascination's sake, because I'm just like, I put myself in I could do a lot of fucked up things, I could, but could I do murder? Could I do murder? Could I steal fucking organs? I don't think so, man. I don't know if I got that in me, but you never know. You get put in the wrong or right situation. Let me scroll down to where the motherfucker. There we go. There's the details. Oh boy. On November 10th, they made an ugly discovery: a severed finger on the beach of Huacho. The fingertips had been removed, and it still had a silver ring on it, so they didn't fucking kill her for her jewelry, obviously. A day later, the authorities found a faceless head and then an arm. I wonder if the faceless thing, if it was chewed off by animals. Because why the fuck else would? Why? Why is the best fucking question you can ask here. Why? And then an arm. The next day, a torso without any organs inside appeared on the same beach. They eventually identified her via her family by the ring on her finger. Oh my God. They did arrest this guy. Now it's fucking hilarious to me. Not funny, really. But they were talking about when they were looking for her. The niece of this woman messaged this guy and said, hey, where the fuck is she? And a totally dumb, made-up story. She fucking got bored and she left. She wants to try to find a ticket back to Mexico. Hope she's safe. Her phone must be dead. So they did arrest this guy, but what a fucking dummy. Why are you... Use ghost phones, dude. You're supposed to be hard to trace. Anyway, if you're going to be stealing fucking organs, you are supposed to be better at disappearing. The point of this story is that that's fucking horrible. And I thought that was like urban legend my whole life. I'm like, they really fucking do that? Man. It's a motherfucker. Next on the 420 break. This is a quick one. It's just funny. In Brisbane, Australia, hacked digital billboard displays pornography for several minutes. It's pretty fucked up that all I can think of. I mean, first of all, I'm like, oh yeah, it's kind of awful. Why, kids see that and blah, blah, blah. I guess pornography on this particular digital billboard remained on the billboard for 3.5 minutes. They got, I think they got some like security cam footage of somebody who might have been fucking with it, so they're looking for people. But I'm always like, what was it? It's not that I want to see it. I can look at porn whenever I want to, It's not that I want to see it in this instance, but I just want to know what it was. Was it a still image? Was it straight up people fucking for 3.5 minutes? You got to have these details in the fucking story, and then they don't. But it's terrible. Hey, another accidental porn story, and last on the 420 break. I always like to make fun of any football team that makes these sort of headlines, especially if they're in the same division as the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Faced scrutiny on Sunday during their devastating loss to the Dallas Cowboys. Wasn't that devastating? I mean, because every sporting event has to have a probably overwhelming amount of like hero worship, military worship in this particular case, where the Vikings asked fans to submit photos on Twitter of your loved ones in the military, and then they would showcase them on the fucking big screen, and that's what they did. And then somebody, because somebody always has to fuck it up, somebody tweeted a photo of, hey, this is my cousin Joe, who served in the Army. He's always been an inspiration and someone I look up to for his heroism. He is also a huge Vikes fan. I don't know that guy's name, but I know he's a porn star, and obviously that was taken, a still shot before they took their clothes off in said porno. You got to vet these things, man. It's hard to do sometimes. If you're just like working for Twitter social media, or excuse me, the Vikings social media, there's another one. Hey, it doesn't have his dick out, so I guess it's, just accidental porn. Or ambushed with accidental porn. That's a better way to put it. Hey, that's your 420 break. Eat some Doritos. Chill out. Get your ass back to work.
Hey, oh man. I got the fucking munchies real bad. How about you?
Hey. Smoke weed every day.
All right, hope you feel better now. I absolutely did partake, and as I said at the beginning of the podcast, I totally made the 420 break. I produced that ahead of time, obviously, and didn't do a podcast last week, so I just had it hanging around. I'm like, well, I need this goddamn thing. I'm gonna, even though it says November 27th or whatever the fuck. What the hell? Everything.